Welcome to all of you at Bocconi University. I hope that you will appreciate the fact that both Brian and I are here wearing a tie despite the temperature in Milano. And I invite you to also take a visit to the other parts of the campus of Bocconi. On the other side, you have the new campus hosting SDA Bocconi, our School of Management. So it's a great pleasure for me and a real privilege to welcome you to Bocconi for the 12th annual conference of the principals organized by ICMA. For Bocconi, this is really a privilege. This, as has been said, is a university with a long-standing commitment to economics, finance, management, and public policy. And of course, we see sustainable finance as one of the defining fields where academic knowledge, market practice, and public interest should more and more converge. So if I understand, this conference has become the premier global gathering for the sustainable bond market, bringing together the full chain of sustainable finance and offering a unique opportunity to reflect on where the market's trend is now facing and what is heading and what are the main challenges in the future. The principles clearly played quite a crucial role in this evolution, and in some way they provided a common language, trust, and a common framework. Sustainable finance is not only about labeling instruments, it is about directing capital towards credible projects, measurable outcomes, and long-term resilience. It is also about ensuring that financial markets can support the transition of companies, sectors, and economies in a way that is both ambitious, but at the same time realistic. This is why I think the discussions that you're going to have today are so timely and concerning, of course, the state of the sustainable bond market, the experience with the new transition finance labels, the interaction between voluntary principles and official standards, and the specificities of emerging markets. I guess that these are not simply technical discussions. They require dialogue among the different market participants, regulators, and if I may, also academia. I think it's quite significant that this conference takes place in Europe and in Italy. Europe accounts for the major share of the sustainable finance market. And Italy, as Brian mentioned, has become an active participant in this journey. The Italian Treasury developed the DBTP Green Program to finance public expenditures with positive environmental impact and to support the country's ecological transition, with approximately 60 billion in sovereign green bonds issued in the last 5 years. Italian financial institutions and corporations are also increasingly present in the sustainable bond market. This is especially close to me because, as Brian mentioned, I have the privilege to be also the chair of Generali. Generali experience in this field is, I think, a good example of how sustainable finance can be embedded in a group financial strategy. In the last 6 years, Generali has issued 8 green bonds and 1 sustainable bond for a total outstanding amount of more than 5 billion euros. The first 750 million green bond was also the first green bond issued by a European insurance group. Under the group's Green, Social and Sustainability Bond Framework updated a few months ago, proceeds are allocated exclusively to eligible green and social categories, with green assets aligned with both the EU taxonomy and the ICMA green bond principles. As of the end of last year, Generali's eligible bond, portfolio amounted to 6.4 billion, including 6.3 billion in eligible green assets, mainly green and resilient buildings, renewable energy, and energy efficiency. Bocconi. I think that Bocconi's contribution is complementary and equally important. As an academic institution, Bocconi has a responsibility to educate the next generation of leaders and professionals who will shape these markets. Finance has always been quite an important area of our teaching and research activities here at Bocconi. We actually have a large number of graduates each year that typically go all over Europe and the world. So we train these professionals, and of course we do have courses in these programs that concern climate finance, ESG investing, environmental policy, transition risk, and sustainable development. Many graduates of ours go on to work in fixed income markets, asset management, banking, insurance, public institution, and sustainability-related roles. I think that they have been and will be more and more called upon to design, assess, and implement all the instruments that we're discussing today. Let me finally highlight the relevance of the standards. Standards have become even more important. Far from being a bureaucratic exercise, they are a condition for trust. Investors need confidence that proceeds are allocated in a credible way, and therefore standards play a relevant role, just as the principles have been successful precisely because they are practical, market-based, and globally recognized. They have allowed innovation to take place while preserving a common architecture. Going forward, this balance will remain essential. The market needs guidance and comparability, but also flexibility to accommodate different sectors, jurisdictions, and stages of transition. I think it also requires, if I may, humility. The path will not be linear, and different economies will move at different speeds as far as transition is concerned. But precisely for this reason, shared standards and transparent dialogues are essential. Let me close by thanking once again ICMA for choosing Bocconi and Milano as the venue for this important conference. I'd like to recall that this all started with a relationship with a close friend of mine, Aldo Romani, at the EIB. Aldo and I were here back in 2007 when he actually orchestrated the first issuance of green bonds of the EIB. And I remember we actually studied economics here at Bocconi together, somewhat 40 years ago, unfortunately, Aldo. But it was quite a nice experience. We all always shared the same European values, being trained in university, which feels very much European. The sustainable bond market has achieved remarkable scale. The task ahead is to ensure that this scale translates into credibility, impact, and resilience. And this requires robust standards, informed investors, responsible issuers, effective regulation, and continuous learning. I hope, very much hope, that today's conference will offer not only analysis and technical insight, but also a renewed sense of shared purpose. That's very important. Sustainable finance has the potential to be one of the most powerful bridges between capital markets and the long-term needs of society. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that this bridge remains strong, credible, and open to all. With this, I wish you a very productive conference and warmly welcome you once again to Bocconi University. Thank you.